Good day everyone and welcome to another senior high school lesson in statistics and probability. Are you now ready to start? Let's get it on. So we are done with normal distribution. For today's lesson, we are going to proceed with sampling. Here is our objective. At the end of this video, you are expected to illustrate random sampling. But before we proceed, let me ask you this one. How are you today? Yes, I hope you are all doing fine. So before we proceed, let me have this definition first of random sampling. It is a selection of n elements derived from a population n, which is the subject of the investigation or experiment, wherein each sample has an equal chance of being selected using the appropriate sampling technique. Remember, we have two different sampling techniques. We have the probability or the random sampling and the non-probability or the non-random sampling. But the main objective of our lesson for today is all about the probability or the random sampling. So let me now proceed to the random sampling techniques. So first, we have the simple random sampling or the lottery method. Next, we have the systematic sampling. Next to that is the stratified sampling. Another one is the cluster sampling. And lastly, we have the multistage sampling. So let us now go through each random sampling technique. Let us start with the most common random sampling technique. This is the simple random sampling or the lottery method, wherein every number of the population has an equal chance of being selected. Say for example, when the members of the population have their names represented in small pieces of paper, they are going to mix together and picked out at random. The selected members will be included in the sample. That is why it's called the lottery sampling. Let us now proceed to systematic sampling. This is a sampling technique in which members of the population are listed and sample are selected in intervals. It is called the sample intervals. In this technique, every nth element from the list is selected from a randomly selected starting point. Say for example, in a population of 9, we can draw a sample of 3 by selecting every third person in the list. Are you now ready for another sampling technique? Okay, we have the stratified sampling. In this technique, the members of the population are grouped based on their homogeneity, or we have the subgroups or called the strata. In this technique, we are going to classify the population based from their characteristics such as gender, age, socioeconomic status, or others. It is required that we have the full representation of the sample. We may now proceed to cluster sampling. In this sampling technique, or the area sampling, it is applied on a geographical basis. It is generally done by first sampling at the higher levels before going down to the lower levels. Say for example, the samples are randomly taken from provinces first, then subsequently to the cities, then to municipalities or barangays, and then to our households. So meaning, samples will be taken as a whole in a specific area. Let us now proceed to multistage sampling. It is done using a combination of different sampling techniques, meaning you're going to determine the samples by utilizing the different sampling techniques. It can be stratified sampling, systematic sampling, simple random sampling, or cluster sampling. So here you can use any combination as long as it is applicable to your study. So those are the different random sampling techniques. Now, let us try and learn this one. You're going to identify the sampling technique used in each situation. Are you ready? Let's start with number 1. Every 10th customer entering a store is given a raffle ticket. What is your answer? Yes, you're right. Systematic sampling. Let us now try number 2 situation. All teachers from a science building are invited as judges. What will be your answer? Wow, you are doing great. Cluster sampling is correct. Let us now try the last sample. The name of each student is written in a paper, put inside the box, then 5 names as drawn from it. What sampling technique is being used? Amazing, you really learned a lot. The answer is the simple random sampling. Congratulations, you did it! I think you are now ready to summarize our lesson. First, we have what is random sampling. Next, name some random sampling techniques that we have learned. So for practice, you can accomplish the learning activity sheet number 6 on pages 5 to 6. You can do it. And again, thank you for joining today's class. See you again next time. This is Mom Grace. Stay connected and stay safe. Bye!